Why is it that communities are eager and willing to spend on a structure, a mosque, a building, the dome, building the minaret, millions of dollars poured into that, but they're not as eager or willing to spend on training the imam or the salary of the imam or the scholarship fund for students or people who want to go study their religion? Why is it that we're good at spending on buildings but not on people?
Al Maghrib Institute presents Q&A with Kamal Al-Makki.
Here's a very interesting narration during the reign of Umar ibn al-Khattab when he was the Khalifa. He was with a group of companions and he asked them, he said, make a wish. So one of them said, I wish this room were filled with gold coins that I would spend in the sake of Allah. Umar said, that's not the wish. So then the next person said, I wish this room, and he upped the item. He said, I wish this room were full of gold and gems, and I would spend them in the sake of Allah and jihad for the sake of Allah. So also upped what he's going to spend it on. And Umar said, that's also not the wish. So then they understood that he's trying to give them some kind of lesson or advice. They said, tell us the wish, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. He said, I wish this room were filled with men like Abu Ubaidah, Amir ibn al-Jarrah, and I would use them for the sake of Allah. And that is so amazing that Umar saw that for the religion to move forward, it's not about money, it's not about buildings and structures, it's about investing in people, and it's about people that's going to make things move forward. So, the question is, where did Umar radiallahu anhu learn this from? The value of people versus buildings and money. And go back to how Umar radiallahu anhu became a Muslim. And it was through a very strange dua, if I can use that term, a very strange dua of the Prophet ﷺ. The day the Prophet ﷺ wanted to put his hands up and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for victory to Islam, he didn't say, Ya Allah, destroy the enemies of Islam, or get rid of the enemies of the from the Quraysh, or he didn't say, Ya Allah, give us an army or make us the rulers. He made a very strange dua. He said, Ya Allah, give victory, give izzah and honor to your religion through one of these two men. And he chose two men who were non-Muslim. Like, who would think that way? And that shows you the Prophet ﷺ was not just a regular human being. He was a genius, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he chose two men, Amr ibn Hisham, who was Abu Jahl, and Umar ibn Khattab, who was one of the staunch enemies of Islam at the time. And he chose two enemies of Islam, and he said, Ya Allah, give izzah to Islam through one of these two men. So Umar became Muslim as a result of that dua. So for sure he understood the value of people more so than buildings and structures. And who is going to run that structure? The way you value or you evaluate a building is through what's happening in it. And that's through the teachings, the lessons, the imam and what he does in leading the community. So that's why, unfortunately, we're so good at spending on structures, but we're not good on spending on people. But the righteous and the wise before us, they would spend on people. That was the most important thing. And you know this from your life. You've seen a small masjid with so many activities because the people made it special. And if you've seen a magnificent structure with nothing happening in it because the people didn't make it special. It's all about the people. But we learned this from the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, and there'll be many more lessons like this, inshallah, when you take Desert Rose, which is the Meccan era, the life of the Prophet ﷺ. Jazakumullah khairan, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.